Good evening. You are attending the hearing officer public hearing for Tuesday, March 20th, 2018. Today's meeting is called to order. Good afternoon. My name is David Williams, and I'm the City of Tempe's hearing officer. The City of Tempe hearing officer is authorized by both Arizona revised statutes and the City of Tempe Zoning and Development Code, and has the duty to carry out the provisions and intent of the city's adopted general plan and the Zoning and Development Code. The hearing officer is granted the authority to conduct public hearings to review and either approve, continue, deny, or approve with conditions three types of cases: use permits, variances, and property abatements. On today's agenda, we have 6 agenda items that will be heard, which include 1 set of meeting minutes, 2 property abatement cases, and 3 use permit requests. We do have some modifications to today's agenda. Agenda item number 3, in case you're here for that, abatement request for the Storm property has been continued to the April 3rd hearing officer agenda. That's item number 3, so that will not be heard today. And then the other following abatement cases have been withdrawn as those properties have been brought into compliance, and that includes agenda item number 4, agenda item number 5, agenda item number 7, and agenda item number 8. Again, that's items 4, 5, 7, and 8 will also not be heard today in case you're here for any of those items. So we're good to go. If you're here worried about an abatement that's been withdrawn, other than item 3, which is continued to our April 3rd agenda. Okay, as a hearing officer, I have reviewed carefully the City of Tempe Community Development Department report on the items being considered at the meeting today, and I used the information in that report during the deliberations at the meeting. Additionally, I have visited each of the properties that are on the agenda today so I can have understanding of the conditions on the property, the neighboring properties, and the community in general. If you're an applicant or interested citizen, when your request is called, when your agenda item comes up, or when you wish to address the hearing officer, you're welcome to do so. Please step up to the microphone and state your name and city of residence. If you are someone other than the applicant on a case and you wish to speak, that's fine, but do fill out a white speaker card and hand that in before you speak when you come on up to the front. The blank cards are up front on the table by the podium, and there's some in the rear of the room as well, so just hand those in when you come up to speak, if you would. You get about 3 minutes or so to speak, but I'll try to be liberal with you today, certainly. Any person aggrieved by a decision of the hearing officer may file an appeal within 14 calendar days after the hearing officer has made a decision. So as such, the deadline to file an appeal from any decisions made today is 3 p.m., April 3rd, 2018. Appeals of the decisions of the hearing officer are heard either by the Board of Adjustment or the Development Review Commission, depending whichever body is appropriate to that type of case that's being appealed. In the case of a property abatement, if the property owner fails to file an appeal or fails to bring the property into compliance prior to this deadline of April 3rd, the code violations addressed at the hearing today will be abated by the City of Tempe. Before we get started, we have a few staff members here I want to introduce to everybody. Steve Abrahamson, Principal Planner, Diane McGuire, our Administrative Assistant, and Lee Jimenez, the Senior Planner. Okay, let's jump on into the meeting, into the agenda items, including item number 1, the minutes. I have reviewed the minutes from the March 6, 2018 meeting, and those minutes are hereby approved. That takes us to agenda item number 2, which is a request to abate public nuisance items at the La France property. It's case CE 179007. The property is located at 2330 West Carson Drive. The applicant is the City of Tempe. Ms. Zedlar, go right ahead.
Hi. I am here to request a 180-day open abatement at the property at 2330 West Carson Drive. Current owner is stated as Miss Kathy LaFrance. From what I understand, I believe that she is deceased, and some family member or son is owning or occupying the property. I haven't been able to get in contact with anyone. This is a habitual property. Every year, several times a year, I'm out for various reasons. Currently, we received a complaint on November of 27, 2018. I'm sorry, it should be correction, November 27th of 17. Concerning odor, and when I was at the property, I did not smell any odor. There is a neighboring property, she calls and complains about odor, although I've never smelled anything when I have been there. But I did notice the landscaping violations, and that's what I'm looking to get approved for the 180-day open abatement. There's some landscaping violations in the front. The area is very small. It's a patio home. And also in the carport area as well, some dead vegetation as well as some weeds. And like I said, at this point, I haven't had any contact from anybody at the property. I have abated it in the past. In 2014, it was abated twice. But like I said, it has been a habitual situation.
Okay, thank you very much. When was the last time you visited the property?
I was there yesterday.
Okay, was the front cleaned up yesterday when you
No.
were there? Okay, looks like they did the front today, probably.
Oh, really?
But the back, I actually did not verify. Okay, thank you very much. I may need to call you back up. And as indicated by staff, this is a property that's been through abatement process before, and we've received a series of complaints on it. Is there anyone here who'd like to speak on agenda item number 2, a public abatement of public nuisance at La France property? Okay, not seeing anybody to speak on the case. As I said, I did visit it. I looked at the photos regarding the rear of the property. It looks like they've made progress on the front, but understanding the history of the property, the staff request for approval of a 180-day open abatement is approved as requested.
Okay,
Thank you very much. Okay, as mentioned, agenda item number 3, the Three Stooges Retirement Fund property at 3300 South Los Feliz has been continued, to the April 3rd meeting and will not be heard today. Agenda item number 4 then, which is the Three Stooges, has been withdrawn and will not be heard. Agenda item number 5, which is the Alvarado Cody property, has also been withdrawn and will not be heard today and brought into compliance, which brings us to agenda item number 6, requesting approval to abate public nuisance items at the Beckler property, CE 178438. The property is located at 2231 South Evergreen Road. The applicant's the city of Tempe.
Mr. Williams?
Mr. Glab, welcome.
Mr. Williams? Here.
Yes.
Just for the record, I want to indicate that the storm property at 1105 West El Naray was continued. That was item number 3.
Number 3.
And that's continued to the April 3rd hearing officer meeting. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Steve. Okay. Steamrolling along, I apologize. Item number 6. Go ahead, Mr. Glab.
Yes, sir. Good evening. My name is Michael Glab, Residential Code Inspector for the City of Tempe, and I'm here today in reference to the property at 2231 South Evergreen Road. This particular property, my office received a complaint in October of 2017 related to deteriorated landscape. Excuse me. At the time, I observed some grass and weeds growing in the gravel landscape, and I sent notice to the property owner asking him to remove them from the gravel landscape. In November, I followed up and observed little to no change and taped an additional notice to the structure itself. Then in late November, I issued a citation to the property owner for failure to comply. I had previously dealt with this property in the past. Even though I did receive only one complaint for this particular case, I have received numerous complaints for this property in the past. We have previously been out to the property and abated it. So this was not the first visit or the first notification to this particular property owner. As of today, at approximately 11:30 in the morning, I did observe that the violation still remained at the property. Being as this property is an habitual violator, we have previously abated it. I am seeking approval for a 180-day open abatement period for deteriorated landscape.
Okay, so you were there earlier today. I was there today. The condition persists. When was the last contact with the owner?
I last spoke with him by telephone, I believe, was about 2 years ago. And I believe at the time he stated that he's out of state some or all of the year. I do not recall if we discussed an in-state party that was responsible for maintaining the property. I believe that the gist of the call was that he's responsible for it and that he's just chosen to let the city of Tempe maintain the property on his behalf.
Okay, thank you very much. I may need to call you back, but we're good. Is there anyone here who'd like to speak on agenda item number 6, the public nuisance abatement at the Beckler property on South Evergreen Road? I see that there's no one here to speak on this case. As just mentioned, I did observe the property today. The nuisance items do persist, and based on the history of the property and the lack of communication with staff to even respond, the request to approve a 180-day open abatement is approved. Thank you, Mr. Glau.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I think we mentioned agenda item number 7 was withdrawn, taking us, and that was the new Nucapitulo property on East Williams. That one has been withdrawn, brought into compliance. We are on agenda item number 8, which is a use permit. Okay. Agenda item 7 and 8 are both withdrawn. Our first use permit is item number 9, a use permit request to allow Stealth Wireless telecommunication facility in the form of a mono broadleaf tree for T-Mobile Elite at Elite Auto Repair, PL 180017, located at 8139 South Priest Drive. The applicant's Gary Castle of Clear Blue Services. Mr. Jimenez, can we have a staff report?
Good evening. Hearing Officer Williams, Lee Jimenez. I'm a senior planner with the Community Development Department in the Planning Division. T-Mobile Elite Auto Repair is proposing a new mono broadleaf wireless telecommunication facility on industrial property located east of South Priest Drive between West Ruby Drive and West Velvet in the GID General Industrial District and within the Southwest Overlay District. The new facility is designed to accommodate 3 wireless carriers. T-Mobile is the first proposed carrier with antennae center of radiation atop the 61-foot height mark. The overall height of the facility will be 70 feet tall, top of branch. To date, no public input has been received by staff. Based on the information provided by the applicant and the analysis provided in the staff report, staff supports this request and believes that the application meets the required criteria and will conform to the conditions provided in the staff report.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Jimenez. Is the applicant here or their representative? Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Any information you'd like to provide or any questions you have? Now is a good time.
If you have questions, I'm here for you. He was superb throughout the whole process. I take my hat off to the fact that you hired him.
All right, here we go. So this facility is co-locatable, so
Yes.
other carriers can be
Yes, sir.
accommodated on this
Yes.
mono tower.
Yes, sir.
There are 9 conditions of approval. Are you aware of that? And do you have
I am.
any questions about those conditions?
No, sir, I don't.
All right, we've each reached the end of my questions then. So
Yes, sir.
unless you have anything else, I'll
sir.
ask you to take a seat, and I may need to call you back up.
Yes, sir.
Okay, anyone else in the audience who'd like to speak on agenda item number 9, use permit to allow Stealth Wireless facility on South Priest Drive? It's a 70-foot tower, 65-foot high antennas. Not seeing anyone. This is a use permit request, which requires specific criteria to be satisfied in order to approve a use permit as required by the City of Tempe Development Code. So I'm going to run through those real quickly for the record. This includes, I want to note for the record that there will be no significant increase in vehicular traffic or pedestrian traffic as a result of installing the antenna. There will be no nuisance arising from odor, dust, gas, vibration, smoke, heat, or glare as a result of this installation, and nothing higher than existing conditions. No contribution to the deterioration of the neighborhood or downgrading of property values. This is an industrial area. There's no adjacent parks or neighborhoods or residential use. The use is compatible with existing surrounding structures and uses. Again, it's industrial buildings. And there's adequate control of disruptive behavior inside and outside the premises. We don't expect anyone to be occupying the cell tower site, and this should be satisfied easily. As such, again, this is a request to approve a use permit. I find the criteria to be satisfied and approve this use permit subject to the 9 conditions included in the staff report. Thank you for being here today. Thank you, staff. All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 10. This is also a use permit request to allow a vocational school for Arizona College of Nursing. It's case PL 180049. The property that this will be at is located at 1620 West Fountainhead Parkway in suites 110 and 401. The applicant is Fabiola Martinez of Evolution Design. Mr. Jimenez, can we have a staff report?
Good evening. Once again, Lee Jimenez, Senior Planner. Arizona College of Nursing is proposing to operate a vocational school, School of Nursing, in a mid-rise office building at the Fountainhead Corporate Park in the GID General Industrial District and within the the GIOD General Industrial Overlay District. The school will provide 2,500 square feet of offices and rooms for faculty, student registration and testing in suite number 1 on the first floor. Faculty offices and support areas, and several large classrooms, skill labs, and student communal areas will be provided on the 4th floor, consisting of 20,095 square feet of floor area, which is entirely occupying the 4th floor. The proposed hours of operation are from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. weekdays and 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. The school requires 94 parking spaces, of which 127 are allotted for the school. An additional 5 bicycle parking spaces are required and is required as a condition of approval for the use permit. To date, no public input has been received by staff, and based on the information provided by the applicant and the analysis provided in the staff report, staff supports this request and believes that the application meets the required criteria and will conform to the conditions of approval provided in the staff report. Now we go, should you have any questions?
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Jimenez. I did not have any at this point. Thank you very much. Is the applicant here today or their representative? Come on up. Welcome.
Hello, thank you.
You're welcome to present any information you have, or if there's any questions you have, now is a good time.
No questions at the moment. Just
Okay. Can we get your name for the record?
Fabiola Martinez.
Welcome. I'll ask you to take a seat. I may need to call you up if there are some questions. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else in the audience who would like to speak on agenda item number 10, a use permit for the Arizona College of Nursing? Not seeing anyone. I'm sorry, Ms. Martinez, could you come back? I did have a question for you. I apologize. There are 6 conditions of approval in the staff report, including the installation of additional bicycle parking. Have you seen those conditions, familiar with them, or have any questions about those?
Yes, I read over them, and those will be addressed once we apply for a building permit, correct?
Very good. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
All righty, and again, there was no one else wishing to speak. Going once, twice, 3 times. This is a use permit, as stated previously. There are specific criteria to be met for this school use in the industrial district, including, and I do find this use complies with it in that there will be no significant increase in vehicular or pedestrian traffic. I don't expect any nuisance from odor, dust, gas, noise, vibration, smoke, heat, or glare. I do not believe there'll be any contribution to the deterioration of the neighborhood or downgrading property values. In fact, quite the opposite. When we occupy vacant space with a user like this, we do quite the opposite. The use is compatible with existing surrounding structures and uses. This is an office park use and setting. I mean, and adequate control of disruptive behavior inside and outside the premises, which could create a nuisance. We have no reason, and I have no reason to expect there'll be any nuisance issues with the nursing school. And I find that criteria to be satisfied as well. So with the criteria for use permit satisfied, the request is approved, subject to the 6 conditions included in the staff report. Thank you for being here today, and good luck with your project, with your school. Okay, we've got, looks like one more item on today's agenda, our third use permit case, agenda item number 11, a use permit to allow a distillery and taste room, which includes a Series 18 liquor license for Wild Hair Distillery, LLC. The case is PL 180059 and is located at 5869 South Kyrene Road in Suite 18. The applicant is James R. Matz. Mr. Jimenez, welcome back.
Once again, Lee Jimenez, Senior Planner. Wild Hair Distillery, LLC is proposing to operate a distillery with the taste room in the Kyrene Commerce Center, an industrial complex located east of South Kyrene Road and south of West Cornell Drive in the GID General Industrial District. Approximately 254 square feet of the 1,804 square feet of lease space will be used for the taste room. The remaining area is for the distilling operation. The hours of operation for the taste room is proposed from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. daily. The majority of customers' volume is anticipated after 5 p.m. during the week and throughout the weekend. To date, no public input has been received by staff, and based on the information provided by the applicant and the analysis provided in the staff report, staff supports this request and believes that the application meets the required criteria and will conform to the conditions provided in the staff report. And I'll be available should you have any questions.
Thank you very much. I don't have any at this time. Appreciate it. Okay, is the applicant or their representative here today? Come on up. And welcome.
Good evening. My name is James Matz. As Mr. Jimenez had said, we are seeking a use permit for a small tasting room, 254 square feet, limited size for tasting room only, not a bar, not food, not just simple tasting room so people could try our products out. And the back will operate as to distribute for local bars throughout the state, places like that. We are seeking hours of operation from 12 to 9, Tuesday through Saturdays is what we're looking to do. That's about it. As for retail, we do not see like t-shirts, glasses, or anything like that on the floor. It'll be on shelves only, so it won't be taking up any space on the floor. That's all I have.
Okay, well, you're one of it seems like exploding distillery business
Yes,
in
it's very big.
at least the state. So I wish you luck with the business. There are some conditions of approval in the staff report. Are you familiar with those, and do you have any questions regarding those?
Right.
You're okay with them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it includes also if you want to have live entertainment for some reason or an event, you may need a special permit for that
Right.
particular
We don't
activity.
plan any live entertainment. We want to stay minimal in size.
Well, thanks again for being here. I may need to call you back up if there's questions later, but thank you. Okay, this is a public hearing on a use permit for distillery. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak on this case? Come on up.
Good evening,
Welcome.
Hearing Officer Williams. My name is Teresa Morse, and I am the agent on the Wild Hair Distillery for the liquor license on that aspect. So I'm familiar with the project and liquor licensing. I appreciate my ability to speak with you all here today. I will be preparing a security plan for the police department, which Mr. Matz has notified me of. My forte, I've spent 26 years in law enforcement, so I don't look like one, but that's what I do. So I do liquor license applications, And Mr. Matz also has already obtained his liquor law training. There won't be any additional noise, fumes, gas, smoke, additional traffic. It's not going to downgrade the property values because this is an industrial area. I feel that this particular project will be an asset to the area there. So if you have any other questions for me, I'd be more than happy to answer those. And I forgot to tell you that I live in the city of Maricopa.
Thank you very much. Will you do me a favor and complete a speaker card and
I
turn that
certainly
in
will.
before you depart today?
I will do so.
Thank you. And do you know, or I can ask Mr. Matz back up, about how many customers we expect today, or what kind of traffic flow?
I believe that the tasting room is not going to it's going to have very few customers on the premises. I've handled another distillery project up in North Phoenix, and they also have a tasting room of which they do not have too many people, maybe, 2 people coming in every now, so on and so forth.
Less than 20 a
Primarily-
day, would you say?
Yeah, excuse me?
Less than 20 a day?
Oh, absolutely. And primarily, this type of license is, a producer, so they can, push their product to the distributors, or they can distribute it themselves as well. So, but I don't anticipate that there's going to be a high volume. It would be definitely less than 20 people per day.
Okay. Thank you very much for being here today.
You're welcome. Thank you for your time.
Anyone else in the audience who'd like to speak on agenda item number 11 for Wild Hare Distillery, you're welcome to do so. Okay, not seeing anyone. Thank you. That's Ms. Morris. Business hours 12 to 9, 7 conditions of approval. This is again a use permit with required criteria to be met. They appear to be met. There'll be some additional traffic with this use. It certainly seems within the design and reasonable for this location and center that's proposed. The security plan, I endorse that. The better job you do distilling, the more security you'll need, hopefully. But I find this use permit to satisfy our criteria, including no significant increase in vehicular or pedestrian traffic, no nuisance arising from odor, dust, gas, noise, vibration, or smoke that exceeds what's normally expected in this type of setting. There will be no contribution to the deterioration of neighborhood or downgrading of property values. We don't expect big throngs of folks at this location, but a small operation is anticipated. No contribution. The use is compatible with existing surrounding structures and uses. It is very much so with the setting it's in. And there's adequate control of disruptive behavior inside and outside the premises. Again, it's a small scale operation with few customers anticipated. If issues do arise, we'll certainly be able to address that going forward. So I do find the criteria satisfied for this use permit request and do approve this use permit subject to the 7 conditions included in the staff report, and wish you good luck with the business. Okay, that was our last item on today's agenda. We will meet again on Tuesday, April 3rd, 2018. Mr. Abrahamson, any additional comments or thing you want to introduce at this point?
No, Hearing Officer Williams, thank you.
Thank you, Steve. All righty, today's meeting is adjourned, and thank you all for attending.